Very good morning. My sound is clear. Your voice is clear, beta. Anyone can reply. Hello.
Yes, sir, clear है.
Yes, sir.
I'm audible. Okay. Okay. So let's start today our unit number 4. In previous class, we have completed unit number 3, the design of the stated base and the theory about the uh, moment resistance base. So this design we have completed, okay, and then moment resistance base I was shared with the nodes SD01, U03 and S3, sheet number 3, unit number 2. The file name is SD1, U03, S3. Okay, so in that, how the forces are acting due to the axial load and bending moment on the base plate or column bases, we have discussed and completed the design of slab base and faceted base. So we have solved the examples. You can solve the example for your moment resistance base yourself and show to me. Okay. I guess once again all the students they should join on time. You are joining late, time I will not allow you to are late. Okay. So today we will start our unit number 4, that is design of flexural member. So what is flexural member? You know the flexural member having a transverse loading or the member with the transverse loading that is called as flexural member or it is also called as beam. Okay. So these are the supports, okay, having some loading. It may be uniformly distributed load, it may be point load. Okay. The transverse loading is the member having a transverse loading, then that member is termed as uh, flexural member. Okay. So generally till now what we are seeing the member with tension, if there is axial pull, okay, and we have seen the member in compression with axial push. Also, we have designed the compression member with uh, bending moment. So beam column also we have designed unit number. So in this unit, you will able to understand the design of bending strain, laterally restrained and unrestrained beams. It is also called as laterally supported or unsupported beams. For low and high shear case, design of laterally restrained beam using single roll steel section with or without flange plate. Again, the curtailment of flange plate, check for web buckling, web tippling, and deflection. Check for deflection. These are the theories we will see. Design of lateral unrestrained beam using single roll steel section. Also we will see. And then numericals on all these beams laterally supported, laterally unsupported. Also the main with laterally unsupported and supported field. So these numericals also we will solve. Today we will only go through the theoretical part of your design of uh, flexural member or beam. Okay. Once again, we will see our course objective, that is civil engineering, this subject design of steel structure. Course is designed to provide understanding of IS code provisions, fundamentals of structural steel design, and its application for design of various components of the structure. The student should be able to understand components of steel structure and its arrangements. The student will be able to design, analyze, design beams, columns, column footings, that is column bases, roof trusses, gantry girder, and plate girder. These are the course objectives which are set by the Savitri Bai Phule Pune University for the third year subject design of steel structure. Okay. The course outcome as per the unit number 1 already we have completed the demonstration knowledge about the types of steel structures, steel code provisions and design of adequate steel sections subjected to tensile force. Similarly, unit number 2, the outcome to determine the adequate steel section subjected to compression load and design of built-up column along with the lacing backing system. And unit number 3, we have completed design of eccentricity loaded column for section strength only, and the design of column bases for axial load and uniaxial bending, as in case of your seen design of slab base and gusseted base. Here are the some of the maximum slenderness ratio values for different members. Members carrying compression load resulting from dead load and imposed load. Imposed load means lie load. Imposed load are nothing but they are called as lie load. The maximum SR is given 180. Tension member is reversible of stresses occurs due to wind or the seismic forces. It is also 180. Member subjected to compression resulting only from combination with the Dean's seismic action, provided the deformation of the such record does not adversely affect the stress in any part of the structure. For that, the slenderness ratio is 250. And compression flange of beam against lateral torsional buckling, it is slenderness ratio, the maximum slenderness ratio, it is given 300. Similarly, member normally acting as a tie in a roof truss or basing system not considered effective when subjected to possible reversible stresses. Then they are slenderness ratio of 350 and member always under tension except pre-tension member, then the slenderness ratio for that tension member is 400. So these are the maximum slenderness ratio values for the different conditions and different members. You can remember. Now, till now we have done design in unit number 1. We have designed the tension member where there is axial pull on the member. So you can see here the axial pull on the member, axial pull. Okay. Then in unit number 2, we have designed the axially loaded column with axial push on the member, axial push on the member. Okay. And if there is shearing force effective, then we are going for design for shearing force. We will learn this in unit number 4 for design of beam. Torsion, if there is twisting moment on any of the section, this will also will check in unit number 4. Bending, we will also check in unit number 4. And this we have seen in unit number 3. And this is also unit number 3. You are seeing the buckling of the member when there is uh, cylinder section is there. So these are different behavior of the structural member. In case of tension, what will happen? If shear is dominant, what will happen? And this we have designed the bolted connection, that is shearing strength of bolt. Okay, and then we will see the lateral torsional buckling. We have seen the lateral buckling of the column due to load, axial load, and moment. Also, we have designed unit number 3, the eccentrically loaded column, also the column bases. So generally, tensile behavior if axial pull is there under the universal testing machine. You can see that this type of graph will appear. Okay, it may be in case of steel or another material. The graph is somewhat like this. So you know that for steel structure, structural member intention, what is the FY, what is the FU. FY is the initial stress of the steel, FU is the ultimate stress of the steel. Okay, you can see the behavior of the. Uh, so there is neck formation in steel because steel is the ductile material. Okay, but in case of polymer or other material, it will not be seen. So you can see that before failure, the neck formation is there while you are going for design of tension unit. Now, design of flexible member unit number 4 consists of laterally supported beam using single rolled steel section with or without flange plate. So, single rolled steel section means rolled steel section is you know that the structural steel which are manufactured under the control climate in the factory, they are called as the rolled steel section. There is no joint. So these sections are called as rolled steel section. Rolled steel section. Okay, but and if you provide the additional plates, provide this is without additional plate. But if rolled steel section, this is the rolled steel section. I'm showing as section, it may be channel section, it may be angle section, okay, it may be tube, it may be. So if it is consist of with the additional plate over that, with the flanges, so it is called as rolled steel section with the flange plate. So this you can say that rolled steel section section with flange plate. So additional flange plate are attached to increase the bending moment resistance capacity of the section. Okay, so here what is laterally supported and what is laterally unsupported we will discuss later on. It will come. Containment of flange plate, that is nothing in containment because we are providing the additional plates over the flanges. Strength in the flexor, low and high shear case, we will see what is the low shear case and what is the high shear case. In design, you will see and how it will affect the bending strength of your section, that also we will see. Check for web buckling in serviceability condition, limit state of serviceability will check for web crippling and deflection also we will see in the design of your flexible member. Similarly, for the laterally unsupported beam, using single steel section without flange plate, containment of flange plate, strength in flexor and shear, check for deflection, that also similar way for the laterally supported and laterally unsupported beam we will see in this way. Okay, so bending of simply supported beam, you can see this is the simply supported beam because just on the roller support this is placed and the load is applied for the top. As this experiment we can do on our UTM also. Universal testing machine, there is roller. We put the roller on one bar or the beam and then try to apply a load at the center. What it will happen? So you can see this axis of beam is horizontal and the load acting on this is vertically on the axis of load, making 90 degree, or you can say the normal to the axis of member. So that's why this type of loading it is called as transverse loading. So always there is transverse loading on the flexural member. Okay. So due to this transverse loading, this member is called as flexural bending member, and you can see that due to loading there is some deflection, and you can see that this is the axis before bending, okay, in red color, and you can see the blue color. This axis will change after the bending, after the application of the load, the bending. So this is nothing but you can term as the deflection or the bending. Okay, generally this is termed as deflection. Okay, so this is nothing but bending of the beam. That's why this type of members, they are a horizontal member in the structural structure, then they are called as flexural or bending member. So in case of some simply supported case, this type of behavior or bending you will observe. Similarly, concept of the pure bending view, it means that there is no shear. There is no shear. So you can see that from this point to this point, okay, there is no dominant shear force you are seeing. Only bending is there. From this point to this point, if you observe, only bending moment is there, okay, and it is from this area the bending moment is only there. There is no shear force. You can see there is no shear force. Shear force is zero. So that case is called as pure bending case. That case is called as pure bending case if there is no shear force acting on that part. Okay, so that is called as pure bending case. Okay, now concept of simple or pure bending, you are seeing the pure bending case. This is simply supported beam. How to find out if there is point load or concentrated load acting on the member, point load or concentrated load acting on the member. Okay, you are getting or not? All are available?
Yes,
If my voice break or anything happen, you should inform to me. So this concept of pure bending already we seen, and here you can see you also know all this thing you are learned in the strength of material and structural analysis. So this, if only concentrated load P is acting, then this is the bending moment, and you know the bending moment is nothing but PL by 4. PL by 4. How it is PL by 4? Because at support your shear force here is nothing but P by 2. Here also the reaction at support B, it is P by 2. You find out the bending moment at the center, it will be, if I will say that this is point C, this is A and this is B. So if you find the moment at the C, it will be P by 2 into distance. This distance is L by 2. So L by 2. So maximum bending moment in case of concentrated load is PL by 4. So likewise, in simply supported case, at the end there is hinge support and roller support. So here the moments are zero. The moments are zero. Okay, there is no moment in case of Simpson at the ends. So you know that if fixity is there, then end moments are there. Okay, if there is no fixity, if you are designing for simply supported case, then there at the end there is no bending moment. Similarly, you can say the stress variation in compression in tension zone. This is, you know, this is our neutral axis. Okay, the neutral axis, what it means, the stresses at the neutral axis they are zero. There is no stresses. But it divide the section in two parts. Okay, due to bending, what happened? Due to bending, due to bending, this is the section due to bending. Okay, so you can see that this is the neutral axis. It will not change the length at neutral axis, and stress is also zero. But you say the upper part here, upper part, there is reduction in the size of member. Reduction in size of member above neutral axis. Above neutral axis, I am writing NA, okay? Above neutral axis. That's why if there is reduction in the size, there is push on the upper side of the neutral axis, that is in compression. In compression. The upper part in compression, and there is elongation in the bottom part. That's why the bottom below the neutral axis, the tensile stresses are there. If you draw the stress diagram, here, the stress diagram will be like this. This is the compression part, neutral axis the stress is zero, and this is tension part. So I will write that this is compression part and this is the tension part. So these are the stresses in the your beam. Okay, that is stress variation. Okay, now we will see if the force is large, there is bending, then the stresses also enlarges in the compression and the tension zone. But in case of cantilever, if the one it is fixed and it is support, you can see the maximum bending will be at this point. Okay, because it is here is the, if you can see, draw a line, there is load. So what happens? It will deflect, and the bending will be like this. Okay, the bending will be bending will be bending will be okay. So you can see that, or if there is fixity, the bending will be like this. So here it may be the negative moment developed here. Okay, but deflection, the upper part will not this one. At the end, the deflection will be less large, and at the support, the deflection will be less. There is no deflection. Now you can see the bending of the brittle and ductile material. In case of cantilever, this aluminium and steel is there. You know the steel is the ductile material. How the bending will be there. Okay. In brittle material, there is no bending up to the resistance. Otherwise, this will be break. Okay. But in tensile, the brittle or ductile material is there. There should be bending. So it is the bending when you apply a load here. Okay. So you can understand this. And this you already we are covered in unit number 1, types of bolts. Yes. common bolt, rough bolt is called as common bolt, common bolt is called as rough bolt, and it is also called as black bolt. So these bolts are nothing but they are fully threaded. You can see this is fully threaded. Okay, and there are different types of nuts you can see. And if there is shank portion and threaded portion, so these are high strength friction grip bolts, HSFGB. Okay, so that is we already seen in the unit number 1. In elastic analysis, the member shall be capable of developing the yield stress under compression without local buckling. So generally what occurs, the strength of the steel in tension is very large. The failure in the steel structure is either due to the buckling, due to the crippling, due to the torsion, due to the deflection, okay, and due to compression. So mostly in design of steel structure, because the strength of steel is very large in tension, the compression part we have to more care rather than the tension part. So for that case, on the above basis, 4 classes of sections are defined by the IS 800-2007, and it is given in IS 800-2007 in table number 2 of page number 18. You can go. So here, based on the width to thickness ratio, the types of sections are classified. So based on the limiting width to thickness ratio, you can see that class 1 plastic, class 2 compact, and class 3 semi-compact. Why these? That will also you can see here. Okay, I will share my notes also with you. Don't fear about that. Okay, and also we'll see the what is the literally supported and unsupported cases. Okay, now we are discussing about the classes of the section. The cross section which can be developed plastic hinges and have the rotation capacity required for failure of structure by formation of plastic mechanism. The width to thickness ratio of plate element is specified in table number 2 of IS 800-2007, page number 18. And 19 it is given the figures, and page number 18 the given the values, limiting values. So in table number 2 of IS 800-2007, the limiting values are given, and how to find out the limiting value based on the different section. It is given in the figure number, this figure on figure number 2, dimension of section is in page number 19 of IS 800-2007. So which type of section you are using, based on that you can find out the limiting value, width to thickness ratio, and based on that you can classify the section class 1 plastic, class 2 compact, and class 3 semi-compact. These are the limiting value. B by TF ratio is less than 9.48, it is class 1 plastic. B by TF ratio is in between 9.48 at 10.5, it means that it is in class 2 compact, and if the B by TF value in between 10.5 to 15.7, then that is the limit of semi-compact. But if your section, the B by TF ratio in case of old steel section for the orogenical and compression flange, if the B by TF ratio, B is the width of the section and TF is the thickness of flange, if this ratio is greater than 15.7 epsilon, it means that your section is cylinder. So these 4 types of section is classified by the IS code, and that is based on the clause number 3.7.2 and 3.7.3. Okay, so that is discussed here. Okay, in the plastic section, before failure, the section goes into the plastic mechanism and full rotation capacity of the steel is utilized. That section is called as plastic section. Similarly, the compact section, cross section which can develop plastic moment of resistance, MR, but have inadequate plastic hinge rotation. MP आपको मिल रहा है, MP you are getting the plastic moment capacity, but there is no plastic rotation capacity, and it is inadequate rotation capacity for formation of plastic mechanism due to local buckling, then that width to thickness ratio of plate is specified in table number 2 of IS 800 2007 for this section, also the compact section. So if full capacity is not utilized for the plastic momentum, mechanism formation is inadequate rotation capacity of that member, but M is equal to MP, you can say that M is equal to MP, and whatever the name it is reaching with the plastic moment, but the rotation capacity is inadequate, then that section is called as compact section. And third class is the semi-compact section, when your rotation capacity is and below there is no rotation capacity and the moment is less than MP, it not reaches the plastic moment capacity, then that section is called as semi-compact section due to local buckling. The width of thickness ratio of plate element is given in IS code. This IS code table number 2 it is given. Okay, you can understand here it is with respect to uh, moment capacity and with respect to the yield stress and stress of the section, it is defined here. Okay, if F is equal to Fy, it may be something wrong, I think so. If F is equal to Fu, I think so. Okay, then the class 1 plastic full section capacity is ready. And if F is greater than Fy, then there is your class 2 compact, and if F is equal to Fy, it means that it is class 3 semi-compact, and if your stress in the member is less than the yield stress, then that section is called a cylinder section. So always avoid the design of cylinder section. At least your section should be in semi-compact limit. If section is cylinder, then you have to bring the section in at this semi-compact limit, and that example we have solved in unit number 1. Okay. If you are not attending that class, the video is available on the YouTube. You can view the video and understand. Okay. So at yield stress, it is My, and the plastic moment capacity, it is MP. This is moment curvature relationship of the cross section. It is called as moment curvature relationship. It's called as moment curvature relation. Okay. Okay. So this graph can and how the stress distribution as per the section. You can see these are the stress. These are the stress uh, diagrams. Okay. If in case you can say that M is MP is greater than M, here MP is equal to M, here M is less than MP, or you can write down in this case you can write down M is equal to My, you can write down M is less than My, Okay, and in both two cases M is equal to M, and depend on the rotation capacity mechanism is formed, then the section is class. If M is equal to MP and inadequate rotation, then it is elastic component. Okay, so you can see the section, different sections are there. It is within the elastic limit, but failed in buckling. This is up to the elastic limit. This is the plastic moment reached to the plastic moment, and this is also reached to the plastic moment with full rotation capacity. Okay. So generally, you have to try to solve the or provide the section to the structure such that the uh, M is equal to MP or full rotation capacity of the section will appear. That is, you have to try to solve or provide the section that will be class 1 plastic so that it will be. Why we are going for that? Why we are going for the this type of member, plastic member? Okay, so because in case of plastic member, the the failure of the structural element or structure is not better. So before failure, the structure gives you warning so that you can evacuate the structure. There should not be any there should not be uh, possibility of casualty. ओके, यानी ऐसा ना हो कि ऐसा मोमेंट अगर प्लास्टिक सेक्शन हम डिज़ाइन करते हैं तो क्या होगा कि हमारा सेक्शन जो है, हमारा जो सेक्शन है, जो स्ट्रक्चर का एलिमेंट है, चाहे वो बीम हो या कॉलम हो या स्लैब हो, वो फेल होने से पहले आपको वार्निंग देगा। वो फेल होने से पहले आपको वार्निंग देगा। क्या देगा? वार्निंग देगा। ओके, तो अगर अगर ऐसा सेक्शन हम डिज़ाइन करते हैं तो हम लोगों की जान बचा सकते हैं। कब जान बचा सकते हैं? देखो, स्ट्रक्चर फेल ऐसे नहीं होता है, लेकिन जब अर्थक्वेक आता है, जब हाई विंड स्पीड होती है टॉल स्ट्रक्चर्स पर, और कोई डिजास्टर है, उसकी वजह से फेलियर हमारे होते हैं। और ऐसे टाइम में लोगों की जान ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट रखती है बनिस्बत कि आपका स्ट्रक्चर फेल हो। इसके लिए हम लिमिट स्टेट मेथड डिज़ाइन करते हैं ताकि हम लोगों के जाने को बचा सकें, है ना? So that's why nowadays, while you are going for design, the importance factors are also allowed for the structure, because the importance factor for educational building, it is something 3, for hospital building it may be 5. So that's why, based on the such type of worst conditions is there, so our hospital should remain stand. The hospital will collapse, then how we can save, or where we will put the pupils. Okay, that's it. And where the public places, the more people are living, there is more importance factor. Okay, that's why for designing any type of structure or structural element, you can keep into mind. You can always prefer to design for the plastic capacity so that before failure, the structure or structural element they give the warning, and so that we can save the life. In case of UDL, how to find out the maximum bending moment and shear force, and this all this part you are already covered in your uh, second year, first year in engineering mechanics, second year in uh, uh, I think so, strength of material or solid mechanics and structural analysis. All this part you are covered. Now bending stress distribution in case of I section. Okay, so tau is the shear stress and sigma BC is the bending stresses. You can see that here it is shown the stress distribution in the I section. This is the shear stress distribution in the I section. Okay, so generally what we are considering design of beam or flexural member, it is that your flanges, they will resist, they will resist bending moment. And the web, this is the web part, they will resist, they will resist shear force. They will resist shear force. Okay? So that is uh, you should know how to draw the bending stress distribution diagram or shear stress distribution diagram. It is asked in exam sometimes for 2 marks, sometimes for 3 marks. Okay, the various distribution diagrams of the section, various section, you can capable of drawing. So this is for I section for your reference. A structural member subjected to axial tensile force is known as tension member. Is already discussed. A structural member subjected to axial compressive force is known as column or compression member. So this already we have discussed. Okay, already we have discussed. What is the tension member? What is the compression member? Okay, an structural member subject to lateral or transfer force is known as beam or flexural member. This is beam or flexural member where the transverse loading is there. A structural member subject to axial force, lateral force, that is axial force is the compression and transfer force is the beam and compression member is nothing but column, beam column when there is axial force and uh, bending or transfer force are there, then that is called as beam column. So generally the beam or flexural member they are subjected to the bending moment. The members subjected to predominant bending should have adequate design strength to resist the bending moment, shear force, and concentrated forces with their combinations. Okay, so why we are telling that this is beam, is your beam. Okay, these are the support. If there is loading condition, different loading condition. Okay, so here it is the critical, where the concentrated load is there. Here the shear force is maximum at the end, and at some point the in between the bending moment is also dominant. Okay, or if imbalanced forces are there, then there are torsion also in the member. The member should satisfy the serviceability criteria as per the table number 6 of IS 800. So if you go for the IS 800 table number 6, okay, this we have seen already. The maximum value of effective cylinder mass ratio at the start of lecture is given in the page number 20, table number 3. So this is table number 5 and 4, partial safety factor for load and partial safety factor for material. Okay. Immediate state of serviceability state is related to the criteria governed normal use serviceability limit state beyond which the service criteria specified below are no longer met. First one is the reflection limit, second is the vibration limit, third is durability consideration for the member and the fire resistance. So limit state of serviceability, it is consist of deflection, vibration, durability, and fire resistance. So all these four they are coming into the limit state of serviceability. So you know that How many living states? There are two types of living state. I will write down living state method. It is two types. First is the strength criteria, and second one is the serviceability criteria. So when you are designing any type of member, you have to check both the strength of the member and serviceability. So strength of member, you can find out PD, PDG, PDL, okay, PDB, all these things are strength criteria. Any resistance to the shear force, resistance to the bending moment, okay, resistance to the torsional moment. These are coming under the strength criteria. Okay. In serviceability criteria, resistance to the deflection, there should not be excessive deflection. Otherwise, the structural element is not able to use. No excessive vibration, durability conditions, and fourth one, fire resistance in case of fire. So these two conditions are there when we are going to design any type of structural member. Then you should check for the strength criteria and serviceability. So you have to design for the member strength and you have to design for the serviceability conditions. So if I write down this is after this your unit number 4 is lecture 39. So we'll stop here and lecture 14 we'll start on the next class. So we'll stop here. If you have any question, you can ask with me. Or if you have any doubt, you can ask with me. And I will take the attendance also. The attendance are word. It is observed that some students they are joining and reading the lecture in between. I'm noting that type of students. And if you have any doubt, you can ask with me. Arif Raza, Ghulam Hussain Pulgari, Sarat Patan, Satwan Sheikh, Abdullah Google. The students, those they are still not registered, they should register, otherwise they will be removed from the classes. So you should register for your third year class because your data, your admissions are proceed to the university. So please do that at the earliest if you are not done registration in college. So thank you for joining. And in case you have any doubt, you can ask with me. Hi Raza, are you there? Arif, okay, okay. Ghulam Hussain Pinjari, मुशर्रफ पठान, तो आपको कोई डाउट नहीं है? Can you stop here? Okay. So please make your own notes also, and whatever assignment given to you, you should complete. Okay, and whatever the lab work I am assigning to you, don't take it easy. Okay, if your work is completed, then only you are allowed for the oral. If your lab work will be completed, then only you are allowed for the oral. Otherwise, such students, if they will not complete the work, lab work, they are not permitted for the oral examination. Don't think that oral examination without your sheet or without your design calculation it will be conducted. If there is no sign with subject teacher, the HOD will not sign, the principal will not sign. Okay? If you need good marks, you have to work regularly, you have to complete your work, whatever work we are assigning to you, and keep studying. I will share the MCQs question today, and in next week we will take examination quiz. It is very important. Uh, okay, thank you for joining today. So we will stop. If you don't have any